so timestamps are available in case you want to skip forward to a certain year, but not like much is happening anyway. Also, I realized that I skipped, a settlement. Usually I was supposed to do 2 settlements per prestige level, but if you skip ahead, I mean, it's not like I missed too much, especially between certain prestige levels. But as we go higher, I should really take the time to learn. Otherwise, as I've mentioned in the last one, but to catch anyone up who didn't watch the last one or the start of the settlement, we're in Stone City. Mostly because we have 2 stacks of steel pickaxes, so we literally have over 500 stones to use. Sadly, we can't make any bricks efficiently, but in another sense, to flip that around, because we have so many stones, in a way, we're being efficient. It's just that we would be more efficient if we had an actual building that made bricks. Otherwise, I mean, I think the reverse is true. Wow, I stumbled there. Where I have the weaver, but I don't have a lot of materials, which means I can at least make fabric efficiently, and I will have a lot of fabric to use. Bricks I will have by nature of just having hundreds of stones. In fact, yeah, I already have nearly 100 now. That's not too much, but if I'm solely focused on making bricks, yeah, and if I wanted to turn them into packs of building materials, that would be nice too. But instead, we're not cutting any trees, so I have to live with the wood I have. I don't think we're using anything. I might as well check the trends, just to make sure. Yeah, we might make other stuff with the wood, but we shouldn't need more planks at the moment. That being said, we do get 1 more plank out of plank production, but aside from that, I did pick up oil. We don't have a temple yet. I mean, if we can get the temple, that's great, because we are sharing all incense here. Yeah, religion for incense, or incense for religion. And yeah, if the game is weighted for RNG, then we should be offered either a temple or one of the other buildings. I could check, but just to at least review for no one else than myself, that's what we're dealing with here. And then I also bamboozled myself because I just did a daily expedition that had humans, foxes, and frogs, which means they all share porridge and they all share religion, which is a good way to just get all of them up to speed. That way I don't have to branch off, except for clothes, which thankfully I don't need. Yeah, it's just services. We do need clothing at some point, otherwise we take a speed hit. But if we can't get that, it's not as bad as it could be. Now, we will have boots for the foxes and the frogs. We won't have coats for the humans, most likely, but that's just the price of doing business. So let's make sure we know what we want to do. I do want to make use of trade routes. We have 2 in progress, but aside from that, if we can just sneak in building materials while the goods are worth something, even if they weren't, as I mentioned earlier before I resume here, having so many stones does effectively, indirectly increase the value of the goods I make, because I'm producing more stones to produce more building materials, if I wanted to do that. But that's a worry for a higher prestige. So I don't think there's really much else I need to do at the moment, because we can't cut trees, which means I can't cut into this dangerous glade. But considering we have the manpower we have, it's not like we can do much more anyway. Otherwise, I could sit here and think about what I want to do, or if I want more planks, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'll think about it for a moment, but there shouldn't be too much happening here. Now, I could set up this Drizzle water geyser so that I can make use of the cookhouse, but my next worry is just the blight post anyway, so you know what we're actually going to do? We'll set this up, but I don't know if I need more. I would like to use coal instead, but yeah, this mine's gonna be a great lifeline for us. Now, how much so, we'll see, but we'll have to wait until we get the new newcomers. Otherwise, yeah, I'll have to think. We can make a bunch of human houses if I want to. Yeah, I think we'll get planks. We'll always need some kind of building material, but if in this case it'll probably be planks. We'll take an extra plank, or basically another human house, and trade something for it. Probably bricks. A brick for wood on top of building material. And let's actually just make these 2 human houses really quickly. That's right, I'm on frost, so we are taking a hit of sorts. We could also sell all these planks now. I don't particularly need this reputation point now. But if I grab that... this effect is retro. For every small glade I open during Drizzle, but I'm not playing... Oh, again, I can't even cut trees down at the moment, so... yeah, I think we'll just wait for... we'll just hold this order for the moment. At least until we get the tree one, but... I think making a Drizzle water geyser would be... something I want to do. Let me check my other buildings while the game's just running. Yeah, I could make the Druid's Hut now. Could. Don't think I want to. And then here's our only source of incense, but we don't need that either at the moment. So, as we grab our villagers here. So the next thing we want to do is fill up this Stonecutter's camp. If there is a frog elsewhere, I would like to do a thing, and I can actually boost the foxes up really quickly. Yeah, I would rather get some efficiency here than the resolve from the rain collector for the frogs. After that, though... let's see, were we doing anything else? Yeah, we were kind of making planks, but let's stop that and just focus on bricks for the moment. And then we'll be super boosted for... gathering stone. We'll leave one because we need to start working on this blight post, but let's also make building materials. Let's slowly make building materials. Yeah, that's all I have to say at the moment. In that case, I should just upgrade this mine now. That way I don't have to think about it later. But we do need to make some purging fires. Probably just 3. Because we'll get 6 and we're not using rainwater at the moment. But I do want to consider... yeah, I should at least make Drizzle water geyser. And then connect these pipes. And let's get some more porridge made. That's going to be our primary source of food. As long as we can continue making it. Which we should be able to. Kind of. We'll prioritize the other 2 for the moment. And yeah, the resolve from the foxes should help us out as well. But yeah, we're not going to be cutting into this dangerous glade until year 4. Right after that, though, let's actually make sure we have everything else we need before we do much else. In fact, I can have this fox stop for the moment because we do need to build some things here and there. So yeah, the moment this gets done, probably won't be done until after the storm season, because if we cut into this glade, it'll be right before the storm season. If I try to do it as soon as possible. That is interesting to do. For the good of Amber? Question mark. Oof. Let me check these orders. I can't accept these orders. I'm just gonna do it now. As 10 aesthetics, 10 harmony. Let me ask that question. That's comfy, yeah. So 10 aesthetics, 10 harmony. We can... yeah, 10 aesthetics, 10 harmony. So, yeah, I mean, it's literally point for point. So I would use up 10 bricks, 10 fabric, and 20 wood. I can't afford to do that. 5 minutes, 30 seconds, and we get extra dye, but more importantly... the manufactory if I want to make dye, which would be useful for coats. That way I don't have to think about it later. The question is, do we even have these resources available? Because that's something I've asked myself before. I mean, it's a timed order, it would help, but alternatively, I could probably do value of goods sold instead. We're not using, well, Drizzle water maybe, but I don't really like the rewards. I'm looking at the rewards primarily here. But dye is important because we do have a clothing issue as well. So, there is copper ore somewhere. Whether or not I'll focus that directly is a different story. But I think I'll pick the timed order for the sake of just picking it for them at least. And need for religion. So we do plan to do that. That's not going to happen. So, yeah. We might not get this wheat. Well, actually, if there's a proto-wheat node... yeah, if there's a proto-wheat node, I'll think about it. We'll see if it appears in the blueprint. The clay here, on the other hand, or bundles of leather for extra shoes. Thinking. That will that push me to hostility? No, it won't. It shouldn't. So we can't accept this order, but I want to accept this one instead. No, there's not really a reason to. So yeah, we'll take the leather so we can make more boots. We'll make as much fabric as possible. Oh, I just realized that I used the order and lost my fabric and bricks and planks. Well, we still need to make these if possible. It's just that it's gonna be less possible now. Whoops. Am I gonna be okay here? No, we need to make more planks again. Yeah, we need to make some planks. Should only need about... Let's see, we already have 4, yeah, so we need 16 planks. And we can do that, so we'll swap... We'll make, we'll produce planks twice for 6 planks. And that should hold us. Now, on the other hand... So, yeah, we're gonna oof ourselves here really quickly. 1, 2. They can be anywhere in the settlement, I assume. And then 2 more harmony, so just, you know, a fire shrine here and there. And then right after that, another garden. And then 2 small things. So 2 lamps. Just somewhere. Just put it somewhere. Now, we only have 1 builder, but if I take care of this... Yeah, at least make 1 purging fire. I think with just 1 purging fire we'll be okay. Because we're not using anything else at the moment anyway. However, we do need to prioritize the creation of these decorations for the sake of the timed order at least. So we'll let this finish here. But we need you guys to build these things. The human houses can be after. In fact, they should probably be lower priority. But so long as other things are happening at the moment, we shouldn't need to worry about buildings going in the wrong place, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, this port should help us through year 3. If it doesn't, well, I mean, sadness, I guess. We can enable boots. I shouldn't need to, though. I guess we're gonna see. I should be able to calculate this out, but for some reason I can't think about it. But anywho. So yeah, with these 2 fabric, we should be okay, especially if they deliver everything. Using rainwater here would help as well, but don't think that's gonna happen, so... Yeah, without further ado, so with the, work break will complete before the storm. Not that I'm gonna take it in, probably, unless we get another point of impatience. But after that, yeah, we need to cut into this dangerous glade ASAP. So... when these planks are made, we should be good to do more stuff. That's kind of unfortunate that I got pushed to 2, but... Oh, because we hit, we hit a thing. Oh, we do need to deliver this at some point. I guess we are getting pushed to hostility. I didn't want to be, because, yeah, we're gonna suffer from that now. Ugh. We'll enable the boots for the sake of trying to move faster, but... So I said I was going to look for something. This is more efficient in sense. I think we take something for bricks. Yeah, the coal's nice, but it's mostly for bricks. Just making sure I'm not skipping over anything, though. Some of these would be nice, but we're going to take the kiln instead. And yeah, I realize here that we do have a bit of a problem if I accept this. That's fine. We'll check this next blueprint. I don't need to take it immediately. Ooh, we could make better porridge, but... Trade goods would be nice as well, because if I don't get the temple for whatever reason, we can just make trade goods instead if I need to do that, but I'm thinking pickled goods is interesting. Crystallized dew would probably be better for the fox, so we can make fox houses if I need to, especially since we have all these stones. Now, everything else, though, is a different issue. So yeah, I'll just hold on to these blueprints, because I don't really need to. I don't think I'll need to use them right now. It says I can use a trade route. Which trade route is it talking about? Anywho. We'll move on. We're also going to grab work break in a hot moment here, so I guess we can just remove the favor for the moment. And as I said, let's actually make use of this automation for Drizzle water. Because although we have a rain collector, we are going to run out of Drizzle water, basically. In fact, I don't think it happens fast enough unless I put someone in here, which I might as well do. Could have been a frog, but we need the newcomers at the moment, so yeah. Yeah, now we can continue making brick stuff. Now, we should make the kiln instead first. Sorry. We'll put it where this marble fountain would be. In fact, I can demolish one of these crude workstations and make a kiln instead. That way, we can have two kilns, one for coal and one for anything else. Now, it's asking for a frog, but yeah, you know what? We can do that. Yeah, we can do that. So, this is going to be a brick creation center. We can let them finish making these bricks, but right after that, we want them in a kiln, making bricks. So yeah, funny enough, now we need more frogs, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Here's our next timed order. Keeping in mind, yeah, we can't get the next blueprint yet, but boy, are we getting close. So, and we don't have any more algae. We used it for the weaver. I don't mind doing that because we'll need fabric at some point anyway, but yeah. So this human should also finish soon. But I think what we actually want to do is, yeah, just one person making these houses as intended, but everyone else doing other stuff. Yeah, and continue to make this porridge until we run out. We're probably running out of, yeah, materials soon. But by the time we do, we should be okay for this glade. Also, I could have pushed to blue resolve here, but it's fine for the moment. We could double drizzle water, but then we need more pipes, so that's not happening either. We can sell that ale. It's not like I'm using it at the moment. Yeah, trade goods, but can't make those, unfortunately, so bleh. And I don't have anyone in this blight post, so let's get to work on that. We're going to cancel the house for the moment so we can burn these cysts, because otherwise people are going to die. In fact, we actually need more, so yeah, that human finishes those bricks, but we need some help. Now, I could take people away from the mine. I could also grab these new villagers. What would they do exactly? Funny enough, I want to take frogs, but for 4/3, no, we'll take the frogs instead. We are missing a lot of frog housing, but that's fine, because we can be more efficient in the kiln, question mark. Yeah. We can also replace these humans, but if they're making porridge, we're going to, well, we'll slowly replace them. But we're doing this for the sake of resolve, as odd as that may sound. And yeah, while we have the coal, we'll prioritize using the coal. Also, we have a lot of room for frog houses, so you know what? 1, 2, 3. I shouldn't actually do it like that, but it's close enough, it doesn't make a difference. I think we have one more order left here somewhere. Yeah, or two, but one's coming up. And we do want to leave a couple of villagers free as builders for the moment, so that they can, we can assign people to the woodcutters if and when the time comes. alternatively, that's right, we don't need everyone here, so we can kind of use our bricks as well. But I did not mean to make jerky. Cancel that. What are you doing? Yeah. Let's have one builder free. Everyone else work on making bricks, because, yeah, that would be appreciated. But then I would like to put stormwater here. We did burn 3 cysts, but we'll wait to get a point of impatience, because we might as well. That way we can more efficiently remove it. Although, checking what the rewards are, yeah. Free villagers, but also parts. But yeah, I'd rather wait. I think by the time the storm finishes, or by the time we get to Drizzle season, or cut into the dangerous glade during the Drizzle season, we should be okay. Checking really quickly, though, I think the only other thing I need to think about is making a hearth, but thankfully we have stuff for that, so... Hey. And I just had to catch myself, reminding myself that we are not on a steel map, so assigning woodcutters would increase our hostility to 3, which is what we don't want. Because that might cause some resolve issues. Yeah, we're gonna run out of things here, but well, that does affect people. But yeah, not much is happening anyway. Because it's not like we can make more. We actually, yeah, I think we can actually make skewers here. Yeah, but yeah, we can make skewers here. Yeah, let's make some skewers here. Might as well. I mean. We'll prioritize porridge, but skewers are the next priority because we can do stuff with them. And yes, 2 people on a building construction does make it faster, but it's not. The speed won't really help us as much as having people start producing skewers. In fact, I am making bonus skewers, so that is an interesting thing to note, but hey. But yeah, otherwise making bricks left, right, and center is probably our go-to here. And we'll make as many building materials as we can use, but eh. After a time, though, everyone in this kiln is probably going to just become a woodcutter. Yeah. So by the time these bricks finish, we should be able to just put people in this woodcutter's camp. Mainly these 2 humans, but let's deal with what we have on our plate. In fact, we didn't even burn all the cysts we wanted to, but since we won't really have too much, we should be okay. So we'll assign these villagers to the woodcutter's camp and see what happens. Completing Forbidden Glade event. We will plan to complete one, but newcomers arrive quicker for every level of standing on other trade routes. The problem is, can I use everyone I might be getting? Due to the speed of newcomers. Global resolve, but woodcutting is slower. Actually, we do plan to open it. Yeah, I can open this small glade right after. So, as great as these other 2 cornerstones would likely be. Hostility decreases. That would be interesting. And I do plan to cut into a Forbidden Glade at some point, but I like this resolve one as well. Where... Yeah, I'm actually going to go on a limb here. Because just doing 1 Forbidden Glade event will already help out. But doing 2 would help out immensely. So, yeah, instead we could cut all the way to this Forbidden Glade event if need be. Probably don't need to. So we'll take Secure Perimeter, funny enough. And with that said, I mean, it's close enough, but we'll let this go first. And then Jorg arrives, but I don't think there's much we can do here. Actually, let's sell our building materials here because we have all the amber we should need. We're actually gonna wait until this glade opens before I do anything further. Let's turn in this order now, though. Let's actually accept this order. Yeah, value of goods sold. We'll accept that order, get our villagers, and see what's in this thing. A lot of ruins, it seems, but then there's this Forsaken Crypt, of which I have nothing to give. I do have amber here, but it would be easier to do a thing. Now, I would have to use all this amber, otherwise I'd take all this resolve to the face, but we can see what happens. So, ranch. There's no fertile soil there, is there? There is a big 2-star wheat node, but I did not get a single thing. So, let's see what we have here. Leather, yeah, just leather and the wheat, but a lot of ruins. Actually, I should take a look at these just to be thorough. Here are planks. Water skins, but I don't want to use that. Primarily just looking for something I'm using in each of these. There is wheat for flour here if I plan to recover the supplier. There's a clothier for coats, which would also not be a bad idea. And then building materials here. Stamping mill for bricks, flour, and copper bars. Didn't know this is going to appear, but hey. Don't really need to use that. Actually, extra steel pickaxes. If I break this open for 40. Although we did pretty much use all of... Oh yeah, because we're gathering everything so fast, kind of. We can still use it. If I, burn 40 stones and get some extra stones back on top of the goodies here, that wouldn't be too bad. And then we get pipes. I just want to break that open. We didn't get foxes out of the order, but it's fine, because then I can just deactivate this. We do want to deactivate this as well, because if we recover the clothier, we can make better things. So, what do we want to do here, actually? I could just turn a bunch of oil into trade goods. I can make more efficient porridge, and I think I might just end up taking this for the beanery. I need to stop using vague nouns, pronouns, and just say, for the sake of anyone watching on mobile or listening on mobile. Alternatively, tools, but I can't make either unless I pick crystallized dew. Yeah, there are too many steps in between me trying to make copper bars for stuff. I'm just gonna take the beanery. Now this, on the other hand, oof. Now we already have the Druid's Hut for oil. Do I really reroll here? It's not like we can't use everything here, but... So where was this? The beanery? Yeah, because we don't... The beanery will be for just porridge, so we can take the Alchemist's Hut for crystallized dew, if I so choose. The problem is, will I have the materials to make crystallized dew? A lot of stones, rainwater, but then we're looking for one of these, and that's not going to happen because I think... yeah, we would have to hope for byproducts, of which we have none. So... algae insects, maybe, but... yeah, not much else I can use. Well, insects for the crystallized dew. And the crystallized dew is, if you actually look at the amber value, it looks pretty nice, but... for the materials you use... I think it's a little plus on amber value, but still. I'm gonna reroll here once. If you can get the temple like this, that's worth 10 amber. Probably even 25 amber. Probably even 45 amber, but you get the point. Anywho. So with that said, we do want to set up both the temple, but also the oil. So without further ado, keeping in mind that, yeah, we do need to make a hearth as well, but we don't need to because we're not really branching out here. Now that we have the temple, we want to set that up, I think, is my thought process. Though, we do need to put people in here. Let's put villagers in here with consideration for... we do still need to use this forbidden crypt, by the way. Funny, if we have temple, we can actually just tear this down. But then we need to use the amber.
Hello.
What do we do? What do we have here? Oh, nothing. Yeah, there are no service items being sold by Jorg here, for better or worse. But I don't think we can afford to wait, which makes me sad. What do we trade here? Plant fiber, stuff for meat. Yeah, we'd have to see what's in the Forbidden Glade. If I were very brave, I would just cut into the Forbidden Glade immediately right now, but no, I don't want to do that. So, I think what we're going to do, because I need to burn a lot of this amber, essentially. We can instead, let me just ask myself the question really quick. I mean, I didn't need to go out of that menu. Did we need a... I feel like we didn't need a container for incense. No, we don't. We just need a fuel source and a main ingredient, which does not include containers. That being said, hold on. Let me just think. Oh, no, we want to make the temple first. Yeah, with these planks. So we have no more planks after making this temple, which will be higher priority. But we want to start burning oil. So as great as it would be to make something else, I forgot what the name was. Setting up this druid's hut is probably the next best thing. Also, then making clearance of water, but we have to wait on that. So, knowing that, I think we're pretty much just gonna buy out all this oil. The food is nice, but it's not our main concern. Is there anything else? Probably something for the skewers? Question mark. Although porridge is still our primary food of preference. But otherwise, what are we using? Oh, porridge. I was like, where are my vegetables being used for porridge? If you sell eggs, Jorg, I will buy your eggs. But we do want to pretty much use up as much of our amber as possible. But let's also grab oil ingredient. I think you want to buy the oil ingredients over just oil, right? Question mark? Hold on, let me ask myself that question. So, let me just do some math here. So, 2 grain, so whatever that is. 2 grain costs 74 amber. 74 amber makes 5 oil. And if I buy 5 oil, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so you want to just buy the raw materials because you make more out of it, essentially. Now, we still need to sell more. So, like I said, buy all the eggs so I can make more skewers. And at this point, I mean, just trade off something. Probably pack some provisions, funny enough. That way, after I do that, I can just use bricks and tear this down without having to worry about the amber penalty. We're getting amber here, but you get the point. So, I do need to make this temple, but we need the oil first anyway. So you know what? Let's just focus on making oil here. We'll primarily use the wheat. Is there anything else that I can use for it? Hold on. 43 seconds. Yeah, I can kind of just sit here for a moment. Fish, plant fiber, meat, but really just fish and plant fiber. Could buy herbs, but no. So yeah, off we go. This isn't going to be the most amount. Oh wait, do you sell pipes, by the way? No. I don't have any pipes. Rip my oil, but it's fine for the moment. I think I just used planks to make this as well, so I might be missing planks now. Yeah, I am. So, I think there was something to make planks here somewhere, but we want to do anything else instead. So, instead of that, let us make planks quickly. And in the meanwhile, yeah, we've used up all of our hearth space, quote unquote. So let's cut towards this dangerous glade instead. Let's actually first check if we can, where this hearth would be. Yeah, just anywhere really, but probably closer to here. So let's cut this way. Put the hearth here, then cut towards this forbidden glade. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. Let's focus on cutting those trees first. It's a bit of a ways walk, but we'll deal with it. The warehouse is kind of far, but we'll deal with it. so as we burn this oil, I think there's something like we could take people away from the. No, not the mine. I'm going crazy. That would be a crazy. That would be crazy. Let's use this fox instead. In another way, yeah, we can have the fox focus put into the temple instead, so that I don't have to worry about priority issues. But okay, is there anything else? No, not at the moment. So off we go. But yeah, our hostility is in a lot of pain. We're not at Eerie Song yet. But we should be able to handle that by making incense somewhere, question mark. Where incense? No, that's tea. I thought I could make incense somewhere. I can't? Am I going crazy? No, I swear I could make it somewhere. Hold on. Now I'm scared. Smokehouse. Yeah, the smokehouse. Smokehouse? Question mark? Oh, I didn't make one yet. We do need to make one eventually, but not right now, I guess. Put this on the edges, because why not? We're just making space for the smokehouse. Probably put it outside the range here. Deactivate it, and yeah, we can take a peek here as we do stuff. Yeah, we don't have anything around, right? Maybe herbs somewhere? Herb? Nope. A lot of plant fiber, but I can't get the thing. And if I could have sold more, I could have... If I sold more stuff, I would have been able to do a thing, basically. But let us at least start sacrificing oil so we can get this timer started. I think the effect is retroactive. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to profit in time. So we're going to deal with the hostility hit here, which I think the frogs are in danger. Is everyone in danger? I guess I'm going to find out. With that, if that's the case, we probably want to put a fox on the hearth. But we can also make use of the clothier. Which do I actually want to do? Not bricks. We can handle that for the moment. We have a bunch of stones regardless. Oh yeah, so planks here in the supplier. Planks in the supplier or coats immediately. Not that I've made dye anywhere. Yeah, we would need to use the manufactory for it. Which I think we're using something... Oh, we did not make the manufacturer yet. Anyway, so... Let's... Yeah, I think we just have to take the speed decrease. Are we really out of boots already? Or is it just because... Yeah, we actually have like 20 plus of the races that use boots, but there's nothing I can do about it. What would I actually... So basically, planks, bricks, or coats / building materials, but it's kind of a moot point anyway. So let's at least set up this hearth, I think. Can we also set up a small warehouse on top of that? I will still leave this small warehouse while this stonecutters camp exists. But we do want to put this warehouse closer. Wait a second. Hold on. I just cut the wrong way. We wanted to cut up here, closer to the Forbidden Glade. Well, so this is going to be an interesting video. I think actually... No, we'll go to clearance season. So basically, we're going to end the video at clearance season 4 because, hey, I had to make a cut. So this is still good. I'll still treat this as a stream-like video. Let me just finish my thought process. Yeah, because we need to make this smokehouse so we can get incense running. But the problem with that is we don't have... It's not an infinite source. Not that I'm always looking for an infinite source, but my next concern was that I did not cut the right direction. I mean, theoretically speaking, if I could put the hearth here, that would be nice. Hold on. We just poof this out of existence. Small hearth. Yeah, we would have to cut these trees here, and I did not do that, so... Whoops. Yeah, we'll just do a bit of this. Probably didn't need to cut this many trees, but the point still stands. We need to cut these trees open and open a path. And the small warehouse could probably be around like here, actually, funny enough. Can it be? Probably like up here. So either way, we need to make some space. That's all I'm trying to say. But as we move into clearance season, Yeah, I think that's gonna be where we end this video, funny enough. And we do have space here. So, we'll continue to sacrifice oil, but we do need to make sure... I'm actually going to double time this really quickly. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't get a lot of pipes. Actually, I can call a trader immediately. But I'll probably call them right after they deliver all of these... this dye and scales. In fact, I should probably use different people to collect... Because, yeah, these foxes need to take a break, so we'll do a little switcheroo. I think that's the only thing I need to learn. And yeah, I think I'll just end this video here. So without further ado, we'll definitely be cutting into a Forbidden Glade. Now, which camp I'll need for the proto node that appears is a different story. But you know what? We can sell this porridge. Can we sell this porridge? Am I going crazy here? No, I'm not going to sell that porridge. I'll sell some of the porridge. No, we won't sell the porridge. No, we won't. So yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching, and if you have anything to say, you know what to do. If you want to support me, subscribing and just watching or listening to the video helps a lot. But yeah, not going to take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching. Bye!